Today, I have an amazing recap for you. The title of today's anime is Shinobi no Itoki. Just putting this out there for some of us who don't know, Shinobi means ninja, so it's basically Itoki the ninja. Now that that is cleared, let's get on with the recap. Itoki Sakuraba is a normal, average middle school student who is under special supervision from his uncle, Tokisada, and Kusetsu, his childhood friend, under his mother's orders. Itoki constantly complains about having Kusetsu hover around him like a flea, on the account that he was not a child in need of protection. One day, Itoki receives a love letter from a beautiful girl called Satomi, and she confesses to him that she had always stalked him and asks him to go out with her. Despite his mother's approval of his plans with Satomi, he goes ahead with it and is invited to her place. When they arrive, Satomi strips in front of Itoki and asks him to do it with her. While he nervously refuses to claim it had to be a prank, he looks under the bed and to his surprise sees a ninja hiding underneath. Suddenly, ninjas burst out from all corners of the room, and Satomi makes her intentions of annihilating Itoki known. In the nick of time, Kusetsu arrives, dressed in a ninja costume. She beats up the ninjas and Satomi, leaving Itoki to run towards safety, but unluckily, he ends up in a dark street with a power outage. He confides in a cop for help, but a ninja appears from behind and slits the cop's throat. Itoki is captured and surrounded by ninjas when his uncle Tokisada, the demigod, which he is referred to by the ninjas, arrives to rescue Itoki. Itoki is taken to the Sakuraba family house where his mother, the chief of the Iga village, reveals to him that the reason she had strictly raised him is that he is the 19th heir to the shinobi of the Iga village, and his life is under threat from the ninjas of Koga village. She also explains to him that this is the duty of ninjas, to go on with their day-to-day activities, which is why they work undercover at the service area. It is revealed that the shinobi of Koga village, who is the most powerful and influential clan, practice modern ninjutsu, and they also hold a grudge against the Iga clan over the death of their chief, Kishimaru. Itoki is given the choice to either become a ninja or die, but he steps up to the responsibility after learning his mother had taken the position of chief after his father's demise. Deep in the jungle, Satomi awakens after her encounter with Kusetsu, and promises to get her revenge on the Iga village. The next day, Miss Reiha informs Itoki that he will be admitted into Kokuten Academy, an unlikely ninja academy where he can harness his skills. Tokisada takes Itoki and Kusetsu to the venue for the Kokuten entrance exam, and Kotetsu senses rough play behind the scenes. She informs Itoki about the presence of Satomi and Koga ninjas who have snuck in to annihilate him. Satomi corners Kusetsu with her ninjas, and just when she's about to strike Itoki, he comes up with a genius plan that breaks Satomi's camouflage. Satomi and her minions are apprehended by the NSC committee in charge of ninja activities, and later on, news about Satomi committing suicide spreads. Itoki's plan, despite being unruly, is passed by the officials in charge of the exam while the chief of the Iga village confides in Tokisada about a spy being in their midst. Itoki and Kusetsu arrive at the academy and they are welcomed by Ryoku and Kirei on Itoku's tour of the school. He bumps into an elite gang, the Koga ninjas, which Kirei warns Itoki to steer clear of. At lunch, Itoki has a confrontation with the Koga ninjas, and Zuzaku, the son of an advisor in Koga, reveals to him that the reason behind Koga's hatred for Iga is because Iga ninjas presumably assassinated their leader, Kishimaru. The first lesson begins on ninja cores, ninja suits, and Itoki gets his first experience in a ninja suit. They are given a task to run up to the top of the tower and return with a manju from the principal's desk, but on the way, the Koga students played dirty by breaking other students in ninja cores and stealing their manju. Itoki goes head-to-head with the Koga students and to retrieve Kirei's manju, and later that day, Itoki, Kusetsu, Ryoko, and Kirei enjoy a meal together at the cafeteria. Back at the NSC committee, the investigation for the murder of Kishimaru begins, and Shion is given to task to tail Tokisada, who is the prime suspect in the case. Tokisada, who is on a mission to find the spy among the Iga clan, meets up with Gantetsu, the leader of Shiga village, that specializes in ninja tools, also Ryoko's father. Tokisada finds out that the Koga clan are planning something big, but is left in the dark about the issue. He also comes to know about Saiga's recent struggle with ninja tool production, and how they are about to be bankrupt, even without an heir. All because Gantetsu wants Ryoko to live a normal life as a girl, and not to be his successor. That night, Tokisada breaks into the Koga office to get intel, but instead solves the Saiga clan's production problem, and on his way out, ensures Shion is caught by the guards. As Gantetsu's means of appreciation, he gives intel about Koga's plans to seek the secret ninja power core, passed down to the leaders of Iga. Kusetsu makes it clear to Itoki, after a failed class assignment that a spy lies within their group of friends. The acting head of the Koga clan seeks to make Suzaku the next heir of the clan due to his top grades and similarities with his former leader, Kishinmaru. Suzaku recalls his moments with Kishinmaru and how much of a nobleman he was before his death. This makes him dread Itoki even more. After a group meeting, Kosetsu makes her intentions of eliminating Suzaku before he strikes Itoki known, but instead, Itoki gets upset by her unsending devotion to him, despite it putting her life at risk. Itoki runs off to receive fresh air from the surroundings, and that night, he learns that his late father, Hidetoki, and late Kishinmaru both wanted a world void of anger and full of peace. Tokisada leads Shion to a secret laboratory where Kishinmaru's body is being kept alive. At the end of semester's exams, the Koga ninjas are a step ahead of Kusetsu, and the plan to catch the traitor in the group works. But it leaves Kusetsu bruised and injured when she is caught in an explosion. Suzaku goes after Itoki. He is stabbed numerous times but manages to win Suzaku before passing out. At the end of the episode, it is revealed that the real traitor in the group is Kirei, who comes from a line of ninjas whose aims are deceit and theft. Ryoko and Kirei stay over at the Sakuraba family house for summer vacation. Ryoko's reason being that her father's workshop is burnt down as a ploy for the Shiga clan to accept Koga's offer, while Kirei works as a spy for Suzaku, giving him intel. On the day of Hidetoki's death anniversary, Itoki is exposed to new knowledge about the ninjas in Iga, Reiha's husband, who has been in a coma for 5 years after a mission, his mother's adoption of Kusetsu, the event of his father's remembrance, as well as the truth about his father's death. The Grand Council calls an important meeting 70 years after its last gathering, and Yumika, Itoki's mom, as well as other heads of villages are invited. At first, there's a cold exchange between the heads of villages, with each head degrading the other before the purpose of the meeting is brought to light. It is revealed that the Grand Council is called for suspecting and seizing the actions of the Koga village, and their plans to dominate the other villages. After Yumika brings to light Koga's recent ordeals, and their interest to steal the secret core of Iga, other council members testify to being a victim of Koga's brutality. However, towards the end of the meeting, evidence pinning Iga's connection to Kishimaru's murder is released, and Yumika is taken away with Kido, the acting head of Koga. Goshogawara, the head of the NSC committee, discovers that the video footage present as evidence has been tampered with, but is stabbed to death upon the stumbling on this discovery. The next day, Karajishi, the head of the 2nd Division NSC committee, places himself as the next in command after Goshogawara's disappearance, releases Kido on groundless charge, and sentences Yumika to death. Kido offers Yumika her release if she hands over the secret ninja core, but she refuses and pledges to keep Koga clan from the secret core till her death. News about Yumika's predicament reaches the Iga village, and Itoki, now serving as the acting head of the clan, is tasked to handle the situation. Kido calls for an executive meeting to plan its attack against Iga after receiving word from Suzaku's intel about Iga's plans to rescue their head. Hosen, Suzaku's father, opposes Kido's plan to attack the Iga village and is shot by Kido. It becomes a declaration of war as Koga troops approach Iga in an attempt to kill them, while the Iga inhabitants get armed to defend their village. At the peak of the battle, Suzaku is informed that his father was killed by Kido and is advised to retreat. The Asura robots and Koga ninjas go head-to-head with the Iga ninjas, and with the help of Ryoko's knowledge about ninja tools, they can find out the weakness of the Asura robots, as well as an advantage in battle. Itoki and his friends volunteer to head for the weak point despite how dangerous the mission was, while Kirei's misdeeds against the Iga clan taunt her. Tokisada and Kusetsu break into NCS and breaks Yumika out of prison. They are interrupted by Karajishi and his minions when Shion arrives to arrest Karajishi for murdering and secretly burning Goshogawara. Karajishi, left with no choice after being imprisoned, takes over Kusetsu's body and kills Yumika. It is revealed that Asura is not only target with Iga, but other villages that testified against Koga at the Grand Council were affected as well. Iga clan and Itoki are shattered by the passing of Yumika and plan to arrange her funeral while Kusetsu is taken captive by Tokisada for questioning. Tokisada finds a lead in the case after he speaks with Shion. He finds out that Koga has been working on a technology that controls people, and that same technology was used on a student called Satomi. After a look at her file, he reveals to Kusetsu that her father is Kido. Now that I think of it, This does explain why they both had their hair color as white. So what Kido basically does is have affairs with different women, breed children, implant chips in their head, and send them to another village, basically working as spies. Tokisada discerns that Kusetsu's brainwash wore off, and the traitor was responsible for Yumika's demise. Ryoko and Kirei both return home to meet devastating results of Koga's dominance, while Suzaku finds a chip left by his dad that reveals the real mastermind behind Kishimaru's death as Kido. Everyone is pushed to the brink of Koga's atrocities against their villages, each suffering from the effect of war. Despite the difficulties and uproar, Itoki comes up with a treaty with Koga that will enable peace, prosperity, and continuity of the Iga clan. With Mr. Kozo's lead, the Iga clan plans a coup d'etat to withdraw the secret core and chief title from Itoki, and it is revealed that the coup was part of the plan to find the traitor in the village, who turns out to be Miss Reiha, who results to Koga's help to save her husband. After Itoki writes a final note to the Iga clan, ordering them to escape, he retrieves the secret core from its hiding place and embarks to the end of the war with Koga. It is revealed that Kido's plan is to annihilate every ninja and rule the world with Asura robots by his side. The second wave of battle begins. Ryoko and Kirei arrive at the scene with Kirei making amends for her actions, while Tokisada, Kusetsu, and Itoki make up Koga's building to meet Kido. Kido refuses Itoki's peace agreement instead. He confesses his crimes, which Itoki captures on camera and sends to the NSC. Kido gets furious and attacks Itoki and Kusetsu with his ninja core, leaving Kusetsu unconscious, and Itoki goes head-to-head in a duel with him. Itoki gets the advantage in battle, but in the end shows mercy to Kido. Before Kido strikes, Tokisada arrives, kills him, and runs off as a fugitive. The story ends with Koga and Iga clans uniting once again, with Suzaku and Itoki now in charge. Tokisada remains in hiding, protecting the peace. Ryoko begins working in her father's workshop, Kirei becomes an actress, and Kusetsu visits her mother's grave, Yumika. That brings us to the end of today's video, and I hope you enjoyed this recap as much as I did. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and kindly comment below your thoughts on this anime. Bye, and thanks for watching. See you next time.